Welcome everyone, this is Master's Joke, also Master's Joke 75 on Instagram. So something a bit different today, going up the Arsenal for my son's first ever Arsenal football match. So Arsenal, Arsenal Brentford, 11th of February 2023. So yeah, well excited because I haven't been to an Arsenal game since Arsenal Chelsea in the Community Shield, where we beat them on penalties using the ABBA system. So that was my last ever game, and my last Arsenal match at the Emirates would have been, I was going to say Makita Cup. It was the Emirates Cup, and it was Ozil's debut. So that was a good few years ago. So really looking forward to this, and yeah, I'm looking forward to my son having his first match. I mean, my first Arsenal match was back in 1989. It was Arsenal versus Wimbledon. And I think it was the last home game before, I'm sure it was the last home game before Liverpool, that famous night. And the final score, I think, was 2-2. I'm sure John Fashionhue headed in the last minute or something like that. But that was my first game. So, is this the title winning season again this year? Who knows? But fingers crossed. But yeah, this is the new mural for the Emirates Stadium. Oh, it looks absolutely amazing. I love Highbury. Highbury will always be home of Arsenal for me. Forget about Woolwich. That is the home of Arsenal. But I'm here because of my daughter, Ruby, who she's got a memorial stone at the Arsenal Stadium. And I'm here because of her. Arsenal Football Club, a big thank you to them because they provided us with free tickets for today's game. And it all stems back to my daughter Ruby. She passed away as a baby, and this is mentioned on my original video. So this is a follow-up video. My original video, which was the Highbury, a trip down memory lane, it went online in I think it was May last year. Check it out. So there's a bit more detail about it, but I'll explain a bit more about my free tickets and Ruby a bit later on. I absolutely love these new murals because when I was last at Arsenal, it was looking a little bit tired. Like the shields, the big massive shields were looking a bit discoloured, and also the murals as well. So very impressed, and it's really good to see. I mean, they've still got to finish this one. There's only one last mural that needs to go up, but no, they've done a really good job. But looking in the Arsenal programme, my favourite is the Highbury Stadium one, but it says here, the installation pays homage to the memories and history of our former home Highbury. The representation of the East Stand features 31 players, managers and personalities who helped shape the club. This court is situated near the statue of Life President Ken Fryer, who is also on the artwork. And it looks absolutely brilliant. Also good to see Rocky. Also good to see Rocky Rocastle. And it's a shame that Rocky's Burgers isn't still down the road. But the smell as I walked up to the stadium was amazing. Brought back memories. So I might get a cheeky little burger on the way out. But I did. One of the new things I noticed as I passed Arsenal World of Sport, which is no longer there, near Finsbury Park Station, is a Taco Bell. I mean, when did that pop up? So that was a bit mad, but it's great to be back, and we're in the clock end. So my first ever game was in the North Bank, and we're in the clock end, and I've not been in the clock end since it was back at Highbury. So this is just fantastic. Great seats, and you know the drill. I think I've been watching too much Adam Nawu. Big fan of Adam Nawu. And I see him going to his baseball games, getting a hot dog. And I thought, I've got to have a hot dog. So I picked this up. So this is Mum's, not Mum's. This is Mom's hot dog with onions. Get it with like a drink, like a soft drink, like a Coke or whatever. £9. And I didn't get much change out of a £20 note because my son, he noticed they sold prime bottles as well, so I got him 2 bottles of prime. Yeah, so 2 bottles Yeah, 20 quid for all that. So, yeah, that was interesting. But no, come on, it's a day out. I don't go to the Arsenal very often. So, yeah, really, really, really glad to be here. It's brilliant. I used to go to Arsenal on a regular basis, and I used to sit behind the bench. And I mentioned this before on my last Arsenal video, that my father-in-law used to work with one of the Arsenal youth scouts, so we would get free tickets to the Arsenal home games, and it was literally like 2 rows, literally behind the bench, and it was great. So I went to quite a few games. I think the last game I went to was the Arsenal-Everton, and it would have been late 2011, and it was the Arsenal, was it the centenary year? And yeah, so it was like George Graham was there. They had cannons on the pitch. I took my my little cousin with me, and it was absolutely fantastic for him to have that as his first Arsenal game with you know, all the ex-players and cannons on the pitch, and it was really good. I think David O'Leary was with George Graham, and it was good to see him back. And it's also good to see him on the on the artwork as well, Georgie. It will always be my favourite manager. Then I went to Las Vegas, Christmas 2011. It's a long story, and I've mentioned this before. And my brother-in-law had the tickets, but he's quite vocal. He would have been well suited in the clock end. But he's quite vocal, my brother-in-law. After half time, he went back to his seat, and he thought he'd won a prize because Liam Brady was sat in his seat. And obviously Liam Brady at the time was one of the heads of the youth team, and and Liam Brady basically told my brother-in-law to basically behave, and that was the end of that. So he hadn't won an award at all. And I was in Las Vegas when this happened. I think this was on. It might have been the Boxing Day game, and those tickets, we never got any more tickets after that. So one of the things I did notice at the Arsenal, which is new to me, is this new Arsenal anthem. Was it North London Forever? Written by Linda Robson of Birds of a Feather, her son. I don't like it, I'll be honest. I don't like it. Everyone seemed to love it. I don't like it. But I can understand why they had to do something, because there is atmosphere at Arsenal, but it's not like it was back in the day, back at Highbury. It's not the same atmosphere. But I tell you what, it has been, well, in my opinion, I mean, I haven't been for a while, but it has always seemed a little bit flat at Arsenal compared to the Highbury days. But the clock end, honestly, it blew me away. It's like, you know, I've always found it strange sitting down at a football match, you know, because I'm from the old 80s and 90s at Highbury, but the clock end, it was literally standing the whole 90 minutes, which I thought was fantastic. And I think there definitely is room for you know, standing up in stadiums, 100%. Everyone stood up. The stewards didn't do anything; they weren't bothered. I thought it was fantastic. Great game. Not sure about the band. What's the band all about? Again, it's probably because they're trying to drum up an atmosphere at the Emirates. Not sure about the band. But it could have been worse. When I heard that there was going to be a band in the clock end, all I could think of was you know, the band at the England games who play the theme from The Great Escape, and I absolutely hate that. It does my nut when I'm watching football on the telly. I just hate that band so much. And is it Bernie, the guy with the big bird, who I think he's in the band. I can't remember the guy's name. I think his name's Bernie, and he had like some big duck or something. And I'm actually friends with one of the guys who went out with his daughter years and years ago. But yeah. So the band's all right, but I don't know. I don't. The jury's still out on the band, and also the anthem. But I'm old school, aren't I? But no, it was great. It was great. It was a great day. I really enjoyed it. We had great seats, and yeah, it's just fantastic to be back at Arsenal in the clock end. But that's my son screaming Arsenal. He loved it. He absolutely loved it. But going back to how I got the free tickets. So in my last video, so this is just a follow-up video. In my last video, where I went to Highbury and then went to the Emirates, one of the things I noticed that I didn't mention in the video is I couldn't find my daughter's stone, and I felt really guilty. I felt bad. I thought, I hadn't been to the Emirates since 2017 when we did like the Arsenal tour. So it'd been a few years, and I thought, I feel terrible. I've not been here for so long. I don't know where my daughter's stone is, and I've got to be honest, it took me about half hour to find it. I was a bit emotional, and then I finally found it, but it just didn't seem right. It was in a different location. Well, anyway, after I'd made the video and I'd got home, I was checking some photos out, and I could tell that the stones around my daughter's were different than when she was originally put there. Back in, I think, 2013, because she was born in 2012. That's when she passed away as well. But so I knew things were different. So I started looking online and just to see if I could find anything about it. And then I found an article on the online Gooner, and North Banksy, the artist, he'd taken some photos of the North Bank stones, and it looked like, and the article said this as well, that they'd been vandalised. So, because we'd been contacting Arsenal for some time to find out what happened, but they weren't giving us a straight answer. So then when we found this information, Arsenal then got back to us and said it wasn't vandalism. They had a new firm to sort out the issue, because apparently Arsenal don't own the stones, but there was a firm who was there to kind of clean and maintain the stones. But what they did is they removed the stones to clean them, and a lot of the stones got damaged. So there's no damage to my daughter's stone. I think the ones that did get damaged were replaced, but her stone was definitely moved. So anyway, so Arsenal explained the situation, sent us some photos of where the actual stones are located, and to say sorry, they said, look, we want to give you some free tickets for the Arsenal. And I thought, do you know what? I thought that was a really, really lovely touch. I really appreciate that, Arsenal, and that's why we're here today. So it was, I was hoping for I was hoping that we would walk all over Brentford. It wasn't the case, but it was a really good day out, and obviously. Obviously, I didn't film the whole match because there was no point when they changed ends. There was no point filming because Arsenal mainly had all the possession, so there wasn't really a lot going on in the second half. But no, it was a really good game. Really good effort by Arsenal. They were all over them. To be fair, and I think they were unlucky. My son was really happy to see Saka, because Saka's his favourite player, and I think Saka had a good game. But it's nerve-wracking now. I mean, come on. It's Manchester City. This is my son again. So it's Manchester City tonight. Yeah, I missed. Obviously I didn't film our goal because I was too busy watching. Trossard had a good game, I think. I mean, what was it? He came on in the 62nd minute as a sub, scored in the 66th. But it's Manchester City tonight, and there's only 3 points in it. So it's nail biting times ahead. So I'll be watching the game tonight on Amazon Prime. So luckily I've got that. But really, really good experience. And my son absolutely loved the game, and he wants to go again. So we're definitely gonna sort that out for him. And then this goal by Brentford, and then it went to VAR. That was an absolute joke. I watched it. I obviously watched it on Match of the Day. That was not a goal. That was not a goal. So we should have won this. That was 3 points in the bag. That never happened. But you know, what can you do? You know, it's football. But what's the point in having VAR if they're not even going to get it right? So really, really disappointed by the result. And and to be fair, we should have scored more goals. You know, so you know, who was it? Tony in the 74th minute. I don't know. What can you do? But yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed the day, and yeah, I really appreciate Arsenal providing these tickets. But yeah, the clock end. Yeah, I was surprised because I've been I've been behind the bench. I've been in other areas in the stadium, but I didn't think you were allowed to stand at all. You know, I knew some people would stand. You know, when the game was getting was getting mad. You know, and then the stewards would ask you to sit down. But literally, I can't believe that I was allowed to stand for a full 90 minutes. Everyone was. You know, so it'll never be the old clock end, but it was just like it was just like back in the 80s. So yeah, definitely 4 sections to be for standing only, because you know, why not? You know, if they can put, you know, if they can have the stewards in place and they can have safety bars, because you know, obviously we had the seats and you were able to lean on your seats. I'm all for having stand-up sections of the stadium. You know, it's definitely the way forward, and obviously you can fit more people in the stadium, so they can sell more seats. But yeah, that was definitely we were robbed. You know, what more can I say? We were robbed. Here's a few more of the because I had a walk around the stadium. So here's a few more of the sides of the stadium with the artwork. Looks great, but this for me is the best. The old Highbury It's a shame they couldn't have just taken the Emirates off there and just put Highbury instead, because or Arsenal Stadium, that would have looked great. But definitely, you know, even if you're not going for a game, it's definitely worth checking out, because it just looks amazing. They've done a fantastic job. Really, really pleased with it. Yeah, took loads of photos. Normally I would say at this stage to don't forget to like and subscribe. It lets me know you care. Now, I don't like my channel is it's like an action figure Star Wars. It's a toy channel. Yeah, I've only done one other Arsenal video, so I don't think many people will be watching this unless you're an Arsenal fan. So I don't expect you to subscribe, but definitely like, because it helps your channel. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.